We can sing while we wait. Here we go. Ta-da!
We on?
Yep.
Hello, this is George.
And Bonnie.
And this is Yahabahe Sanctuary of Truth Classroom. And we're going over 1 Samuel 19 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you stay till the end, because the end is going to be stating something that we stated a long time ago. And it's a question, and it's an interesting comment, I think. Anyway, 1 Samuel 19, verse 1. My sweetie's going to read that.
Saul told Jonathan his son and all his servants that they should have David killed. But because Jonathan was very fond of David,
you must kill David in order from their king to even his son Jonathan. Ann says, I'm bad.
I am.
But being a good friend to David, what did Jonathan do? Read 2, please.
He told him, my father Saul is out to have you killed. Therefore, you must be very cautious tomorrow morning. Find a well-concealed place to hide in. Two, right?
2, yeah. In other words, Dad wants you dead. Find a hiding place close by and let me know. Let me talk to him. Here is what I will do. Read 3.
I will go out and stand next to my father in the countryside where you're hiding. I will talk with my father about you, and if I learn anything, I'll tell you.
Listen, my friend David. I'll tell you what the king says. Whatever Dad tells me. I'm sure he didn't call him Dad. I'll tell you. Read 4 and 5.
Jonathan spoke well of David to Saul his father and said to him, the king shouldn't sin against his servant David because he hasn't sinned against you. On the contrary, his work for you has been very good indeed. He put his life in his hands to attack the Philistine, and Yahabahe accomplished a great victory for all Israel. You yourself saw it, and you were very happy about it. So why do you want to sin against innocent blood by killing David without any reason?
Actually, this is to my brother George. I like your comment. All right. What my sweetie just read. David put his life on the line for you many times, King. Remember Goliath? You were happy when he did that, when nobody else trusted Yahabahe to do it. If you have David killed, then you're sinning against innocent blood without any real reason. And we might have to say, except for jealousy.
Yeah.
Saul took Jonathan's advice and stated, read 6, please.
Saul heeded Jonathan's advice and swore, as Yahabahe lives, he will not be put to death.
In other words, as for right now, as Yahabahe lives, I won't have him killed. Everything for a time went back to as before. Read 7, please.
Jonathan called David and told him all these things. Then Jonathan brought David to Saul to be in attendance on the king as before.
David joined Saul again. Here we go after another great victory. What are you doing?
It's all right, something I wanted to get rid of.
Okay. Read 8 through 10.
War broke out again, and David went and fought the Philistine. He defeated them with a great slaughter, and they fled before him. Then an evil spirit from Yahabahe came upon Saul as he sat in his house with his spear in his hand. David was playing his lyre. When Saul tried to pin David to the wall with a spear, but he dodged it and moved out of Saul's way. so that the spear stuck in the wall. David fled, so that night he escaped.
After that great victory, David was still called to play music for Saul. You remember, he was called to play the lyre. That was David's really his first job for the king. That states, but what she just read states, an evil spirit from Yad-Heh came over Saul. Do you think that, now this is kind of interesting. Do you think that could start David's real training to be the next king and not just be comfortable working for this king? David left the king and went to Ramah, R-O-M-A, Ramah. We will know where he went later. My sweetie's going to read verse 11.
But Saul sent messengers to David's house to watch for him and kill him in the morning. Michal, David's wife, told him, if you don't save your life tonight, tomorrow you'll be dead.
His wife said, honey, you want a drink?
Okay.
Honey, leave tonight, or tomorrow you're dead. She already had a plan or an idea of what to do. Read 12.
So Michal let David down through the window, and he left, fled, and escaped.
The king's daughter, David's wife, helped her husband escape. Then she put her plan into action. Read 13 through 17, please.
Michal took the household idol, laid it on the bed, put a goat's hair quilt at its head, and covered it with a cloth. When Saul sent messengers to capture David, she said, he's ill. Saul sent the messengers to see David with the order, bring him up to me, bed and all, so that I can kill him. But when the messengers entered, there before them was the household idol in the bed, with a goat's hair quilt on its head. Saul asked Michal, why did you deceive me this way and let my enemy go and escape? Michal answered Saul, he threatened me. Let me go or I'll kill you. David fled and escaped, then came to Samuel at Ramah and told him everything that Saul had done to him. So he and Samuel went and stayed in the prophet's dormitory.
Is that 17?
That's through 18, that's what you said.
No, it's at 13 through 17. I got a question for you. She put the household idol in the bed and covered him up. The household idol. That was confusing to me. Maybe later on I'll figure out, or Yad-Heh will show us what a household idol is. But anyway, this gave David time to get away, and she kept to her plan. He threatened me. Help me, wife, or I'll kill you. Where could David go? David went to Samuel in Ramah, R-O-M-A-H, right?
R-A-M-A-H.
Yeah, Ramah. Telling Samuel everything that had happened. They both went to the prophet's dormitory. Did you get to there yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some of the English Bibles say Naioth, N-A-I-O-T-H. While others say sheds. So they went to the shed. In the complete Jewish Bible, it says dormitory. So not knowing, if it messed up in the translation or whatever, so we looked up the word in the Hebrew, and it actually does say place of residency, a home. where the prophet stayed. Somewhat like the colleges, they stay in dormitories.
Mm-hmm.
Their place of residence. Well, you might say, well, they're home for the time being. My sweetie's going to read 19 and 20.
The news reached Saul that David had been seen at the prophet's dormitory in Ramah. Saul sent messengers to capture David. But when they saw the group of prophets prophesying, with Samuel standing and leading them, the Spirit of God fell on Saul's messengers, and they too began prophesying.
19 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
You might say that didn't work. No, they joined in with them. And as Saul, he was tried it again and again. Read 21, please.
When Saul was told, he sent other messengers, but they too began prophesying. Saul sent messengers a third time, and they also prophesied.
Then what could Saul
This
do
isn't working.
to stop his orders from not being carried out? He could do one thing, and one thing only. Read 22.
Then he himself went to Ramah. When he arrived at the big cistern in Seku, he asked, "Where is Samuel and David?" Someone answered, "They're at the prophet's dormitory in Ramah."
Where are those two hiding? And I'm the king, and I want to find them. Samuel and David are still in Ramah, in the prophet's home or dormitory. First, an evil spirit from HEH came on Saul. Now, something else happened. Read 23.
While on his way to the prophet's dormitory in Ramah, the Spirit of God fell on him too, and he went on prophesying until he arrived at the prophet's dormitory in Ramah.
The spirit of HEH came on Saul as he was going to find those two. Read 24, please.
He also stripped off his clothes, prophesied in Samuel's presence, and lay there naked all that day and all that night. Hence, it continues to be an expression. Is Saul a prophet too?
Saul was with Samuel. He took off all his clothes and lay on the ground like that all day and night, prophesying naked before HEH and Samuel, prophesying naked. Today they would have you sent to an institution.
Yeah, I'm sure you lost your mind.
How disgraceful. Being naked and prophesying. The people started to ask, is Saul a prophet too? That's the end of 19. But I wrote something else. A very long time ago, if you were with us, and George probably remembered, I asked the question, would you people go just around your house naked if HEH told you to? Put clothes on when you went out of your house so you wouldn't be breaking the law. Yet in your dormitory, your house, HEH didn't want anything between you and him. Even if someone came over to your house, he didn't want you in clothes. Would you listen to HEH? Or to your wife or husband, neighbors, society, and your family telling you that couldn't be from your God? He wouldn't do anything like that. Well, let me put it this way. It's not the only time it came from HEH. Interesting. That's not the only time it came from HEH. And when you did try to make excuses, are you trying to pull the wool over his eyes by believing that would be the one time you wouldn't obey Yahweh? Is that the only thing you say you wouldn't do? Or are you trying to pull the wool over his eyes? I get back to my notes. Think about it. Truth be told, we would say it's most likely one of the hundreds, maybe thousands of times you turn your back to Yahweh's instruction. For the words society that you love. Nothing has changed all that much for you, your family, the worldly society we live in. Can you imagine what your immediate family would be doing if they found out that you were in your house naked even when someone came over? You would do what? Yahweh told you to do that? The rumors would be flying from phone to phone. Friends and family would most likely stop coming by. If anyone came to your house, how many, after reading your sign, now I'd suggest put a sign up, I am obeying Yahweh my God. His personal instructions to me, and because of his desire that I not have anything between Yahweh and myself, I am naked, without clothes by his request. After reading that sign, the unbelievers may ring your doorbell. Yep. The police may stop by. Yeah. Your priest would most likely tell you that can't be from God. He wouldn't do that. It must be that you are listening to the devil. It's in the scripture. It would be interesting, the news coverage, man and wife are trying to start a nudist colony in their home. Yeah. And using God as their springboard. Totally, and I mean totally, misunderstanding of Yahweh's instructions to you. But society really doesn't want truth. Like the religious world today, you want no message from Yahweh if he goes against your church doctrine. Your church doctrine, your denominational philosophy, or they see someone getting instructions they didn't understand, then it must be from the devil. People, we most likely would not ring your doorbell. We would try to understand that what you're doing is between you and Yahweh. Although your sign may stop 99% of the people from disturbing your time with Yahweh, you never know in advance. Think about this statement. You never know in advance what Yahweh may have you do.
Absolutely true.
Do you think that 10 years ago that Yahweh would have notified us that we were going to have a program that only tries to bring truth out? Think about that. Think how we could have walked away from his instruction. I'm just happy he didn't tell me to do it naked. But anyway, you never know in advance what Yahweh may have you do you? Unless it's really coming from man. Because if it comes from man, you might believe what it says, but man isn't what Yahweh tells you.
Mm.
My last statement. Put up that sign. What an idea. People, that wasn't about the nakedness of a person or
No.
how it would look to your friends, your family, anybody. It's about how serious are you with Yahweh, the God of the universe, if he tells you to do something. I know there's people that say they would never do it. And even if God told them to. That's serious, as far as I'm concerned. That is telling Yahweh that you will follow his rules as long as you like them. Not what he really tells you to do. Think about that all week.
Yeah.
It's a very important question.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a lot of intense philosophy and pull for you to understand Yahweh, for you to understand the world, or your, like we always say, your denominational philosophy or church doctrine. I don't think any priest would ever tell you about this or make these comments. Why?